We did have one issue that we got rectified, but I think the thing that stands out to me of why I would both love Vivant and would recommend it to anybody is there was an issue with the rollout. There was some equipment issues and some things we couldn't get going. And Ahmed called me on Saturday night at 8 p.m. From his personal cell phone and said, "Hey, tell me what's going on. I'm going to get our team. I'm going to call them right now and get it going. And let me talk to the manager and see if we can get it going." It's like, hey man, you're the CEO of this company, and like, I think he was in a conference in Vegas or something, and like he's calling me to try to figure out what's going on in Roanoke, Virginia. For me, that was like, whoa, that's okay. These guys get it. We're a craft beer and burger joint, so we sit right in between kind of a bar and a full service restaurant. So most of our locations are pretty small. Um, we have 100 different kind of craft beers at each one of our locations. So it's the heavy peak times are Friday night, Saturday, Sunday lunch. We're fortunate to be busy kind of throughout the week, but those Friday and Saturday nights are kind of the peak times of where the bulk of the business is coming. The internet's getting overloaded and all that kind of stuff is happening. Yeah, definitely from a service standpoint. Each one of our locations was set up as its own entity. So even though there would be multiple that had a single service provider, they were all treated as standalone operations. And so when you needed service on a Thursday or a Friday, we were in the 800 number queue and would sit there and yeah, we can get to you on Thursday of next week. And it's like, well, that ain't gonna work. Um, so yeah, it was definitely certainly to get some streamline on from the consistency from our back end and administrative side, but certainly from the service as well to have one point of contact was something we were definitely looking for to say, hey, we're struggling in Norfolk, Virginia, and we can't even get through the 800 number to figure out what's going on. And so it was definitely that side as well that we were trying to help our team with. A lot, I would say. We use Slack messaging internally for have all the different threads. And once Vivant came on board and got us the rollover system so that we would always have an opportunity to stay online and would help talk to our managers if there ever was an issue. Our Slack channels got really quiet, which was really nice. We didn't realize how much of, oh man, it's Friday at 7 o'clock. Like here goes, what's going wrong? Oh, this location is down. Are you guys having problems with your point of sale? Because it can't stay up when it needs to be. And so it maybe wasn't a weekly issue, but it felt like it. It was probably pretty close. Our rollout was a piece of cake. The team that was there that came in to do the changeover and replace equipment and make sure everything was set. We're in the bar business, and so we're open late, and managers don't like to get there early. And the Vivant team that was there said, "Hey, we get that. We know you need to be open at 11. We need to be out of your hair by 9 in the morning. So we're going to get here at 5 a.m. and that should give us enough time to do everything." So they did it in the middle of the night when nobody was there, all up and running. Managers come in at 9 o'clock. Hey, everything is great. Let me show you how to use this. Let's make sure it's all working. So the rollouts were great. And then we've done a couple of new location installs, which have also gone really smoothly where the team will come out and do a kind of a site visit beforehand, figure out what we need, ship all the equipment, come install it, make sure the managers know what's going on. And so it could not have gone better. Yeah, we had the only real growing pains we had were what I think were natural things of Vivant not only handling the networking and the rollover internet, but also the PCI compliance and the cybersecurity. And so the only issue that we had was we had little to none of that before. The system was wide open. And so some of just trying to whitelist some of the things that we were consistently doing of, hey, our music is a Wi-Fi subscription based internet thing. So it's not totally whitelisted. And so sometimes it would go on and off. So very simple things like that. But for me as the business owner gave me a ton of confidence and peace of mind to say, hey, like there's somebody that knows what they're doing that's guarding this and managing both the compliance and the availability of the network. And so the issues that we did have to me all made sense of why they were. And I would much rather our networks be locked down too tight and be so wide open that there was potential problem there. So the hiccups were very, very minor as it related to the things we were trying to solve. No news was good news, and it got very quiet. And so when the team, they usually don't tell you when things are going amazing. They just tell you when there's problems. And so
Yeah,
when they
sure.
weren't every Friday night, when there was no issues and everything was running smoothly, then I knew something was working. Yeah, I wouldn't say I had an exact figure. More of a kind of a ballpark. I would say, over the course of a year, because with our previous point of sale and not having Vivant as part of the system, when we were down, essentially we were closed. And so I would say over the course of a year, we were probably losing 50 to $60,000 in total revenue. When the team would say, hey, we would try to make it work, but we'd have to go cash only because we couldn't process credit cards and nobody carries cash. And so
Mm-hmm.
the business was essentially closed when we were down like that. And so I would say, given the number of times that it happened across the 20 locations, we were probably somewhere in that $50,000 a year. That
Mm-hmm.
of not necessarily that we were, you know, losing money, but we just weren't able to capture the revenue that was there. Enough to know what it was, but
Mm-hmm.
not knowledgeable enough to know exactly what to do about it.
True. Okay.
So we had some very basic, protections in place, but nothing robust enough to make you feel good about it. I guess if that makes sense. That
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and no one on our team that was knowledgeable enough to say, hey, we need to have a firewall, and this is what it needs to look like, and this is what it needs to block and not block, and that kind of thing. From a safety standpoint. So thankfully, no fines or anything like that. And we had our previous credit card provider had helped us with a little bit of that. But I would say I feel much more confident, yeah, having Vivant and the folks there that are very knowledgeable, knowing what's going on to be watching that for us. It's been great. Whenever we need anything, it's super responsive. Whether it's calling in, the chat, email. I think the thing that I appreciate the most as a small business owner is it's the same people that are reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's MJ that we talk to. It's Jessica here. It's the same people regardless of location, and I know that they're familiar with what we're doing and our business and our
Mm-hmm.
business needs. So I've really appreciated that there's consistency there, that it doesn't feel like you're in this massive queue of, hey, tell me about your business. I've never talked to you about what's going on there. I don't know anything about your setup. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes you feel like, hey, these folks really know what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
that's, it's not so spread thin that, they're just giving you, hey, would you push the power button, or like cycle the power and make sure you get it. That's been amazing. I mean, you asked earlier about kind of how our install process went, and we did have one issue that we got rectified, but I think the thing that stands out to me of why I would both love Vivant and would recommend them to anybody is there was an issue with the rollout. There was some equipment issues and some things we couldn't get going, and Ahmed called me on Saturday night at 8 p.m. From his personal cell phone and said, "Hey, tell me what's going on. I'm going to get our team. I'm going to call them right now and get it going, and let me talk to the manager and see if we can get it going." It's like, hey man, you're the CEO of this company, and like, I think he was in a conference in Vegas or something, and like he's calling me to try to figure out what's going on in Roanoke, Virginia, at this location. And so for me, that was like, whoa, that's okay. These guys get it. Yeah, I would say barely noticeable from an operational standpoint. The rollover internet kicks on almost immediately. I've been in the locations a couple times when it's happened, and I only knew that it happened because I got an email that alerted me to, hey, you're on your rollover internet right now. Would you go check and make sure that it's somebody didn't knock the power out of the router, that kind of thing. So I
Mm-hmm.
would say more often than not, we only know there's an outage because we get a notification about it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
9 times out of 10, they're rectified incredibly quickly. And when it hasn't been, it's been more of a service provider outage
Mm-hmm.
due to weather or something like that.